Hello friends and colleagues, my name is Jacob Smith and welcome to my professional learning goals reflection and video. I think the underlying theme of all my goals is to be a lifelong and continual learner. Now this requires a professional to adopt a certain humility and sort of the growth mindset approach towards one's profession. Because as years go on and as new information and knowledge is gathered, it's easy to fall into a pattern of complacency and this sort of feeling of I've seen it all and I know everything. And I want to combat that by approaching my job every day with a beginner's mind and asking each day what it is that I have to learn, even from a situation I find myself in frequently. I want to be a continual learner. So that's from the outset, underscores each of these goals that I have for myself, is to just be constantly searching for new information and to be humble enough to build on my pre-existing habits as I go. So my first professional goal is to commit to continuing my education, whether that means attending professional development events or continuing to take coursework through different universities. I want to just embody that growth mindset and be a continual learner. My second professional goal is really centered around collaboration. I want to collaborate with other professionals in my field, really as a means of staying up to date and staying current in my field. Whether that's in the world language area of my career or in the special education world, I want to just be a member of a large team that collaborates and that is constantly sharing information and learning new things to stay current. In continuation, the second category of professional learning goals is minimizing personal bias in regards to teaching and assessments. This is an important aspect of my career and definitely a place I see myself having a lot of room for improvement. And so my main goal around this is to collect more diverse sources of student data and then utilizing that data to drive my instruction. Now that data can come from a variety of sources, but what comes to mind are more formative, small stakes formative assessments by means of exit tickets or show what you know 1 to 5 finger showing or anonymous feedback given through a Google form. But in any case, I want to collect more diverse sorts of data so that I can actually look at numbers that can help then in turn to drive my instruction. And then secondly, about minimizing bias, I want to utilize visible objectives, regardless of whether that's in the world language or special education setting. I want to update an objective board on a daily basis. That's something I don't do currently, and I believe that doing so would not only support my students to know what it is we're here to do on a specific day, but it'll also help me to stay more objective in my content distribution, because I myself am held accountable by a written objective in the room. And then as a sub goal of that, I also want to, if those daily objectives are being posted, I'll also be able to assess whether or not the objectives are being met on a daily basis, and that will help to drive instruction as well. And those can be small formative assessments through the stakes of exit tickets or, exit tickets, Google Forms. And lastly, the last category of the professional goal that we're setting for ourselves is to create effective partnerships with students, families, and service providers. Now this I can kind of tie back into my initial idea of just being a continual learner and having that growth mindset. As a professional, I aspire to just stay in my lane and to appeal to the expertise of service providers and other people who bring to the table more knowledge and more in-depth experience about specific situations than I myself do. So one professional goal that I have for myself is to appeal to the expertise of service providers, especially in situations where I'm outside of my comfort zone. I want to be able to just ask for help when that is necessary. And I think that does tie back into just having a posture of humility when approaching one's professional life. Because if I'm to venture to think that I understand everything or that I have all the answers, I'm bound to make mistakes. And so that's one goal I have, to create partnerships and just to handle situations to the maximum efficiency and effectiveness, is just to appeal to the expertise of the experts. And then lastly, in regards to establishing positive relationships with students and with parents, I really want to make an effort to use positive emails and phone calls home as a means of building relationships and of extending the learning beyond the classroom. I think that's one area that I haven't done well in my years as a teacher, and like a scarcity of time perhaps could be to blame for that, but in all seriousness, an area of improvement that I definitely can identify for myself is just the need to be more active in establishing positive relationships with parents. And so, like I mentioned, I want to really make an effort to build rapport through emails or phone calls that are proactive and that are positive, giving compliments, sharing good news, and just generally being a positive source of information. So those are some professional goals for myself, and just to conclude, I want to just draw it all the way back to the beginning. There's this idea of just approaching life with the beginner's mind. And that's what I always want to do, especially as I get deeper into my career and my body of knowledge and experience grows. I want to be able to approach each day and each situation as if it were the first time I were experiencing it, because when that's the case, I truly can become a lifelong learner. Thank you.